Somewhere in Colorado, there are cities carved into cliffs. Nobody lives there. Nobody has for 700 years. The people who built them vanished. No bodies, no graves, no explanation. They left their food on the tables, their tools on the floors, their entire world behind. Archaeologists have been trying to explain this for over a century. They still can't agree. They called themselves the ancestral Puebloans. We call them the Anasazi. The name Anasazi comes from Navajo. It means ancient enemies or old ones. Nobody's quite sure. They lived in the Four Corners region, where Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico meet. For over 1,000 years, they thrived in one of the harshest environments on Earth. They grew corn, beans, and squash in desert conditions. They built roads 9 meters wide. Their population peaked at around 30,000 people. They were sophisticated, organized, and thriving. Then, around 1200 AD, something changed. They started moving into the cliffs. Not onto cliffs, into them. They carved entire cities into the sides of canyon walls. Cliff Palace at Mesa Verde had 150 rooms and 23 ceremonial chambers built in one generation. Some dwellings were so high and so hidden that reaching them required climbing hand over hand. Why would a thriving civilization suddenly move into the most inaccessible places imaginable? The answer is terrifying. They were hiding from something. Archaeologists found fortified walls, defensive towers, and strategic lookout points everywhere. This wasn't architecture, this was survival engineering. Then, between 1275 and 1300, it all stopped. Every single settlement in the Four Corners region was abandoned, all of them. Pottery left on shelves, tools left on floors, sandals left by doorways. No mass graves, no bodies, no sign of plague or epidemic. The last tree-cutting date found in any Anasazi ruin is 1286. After that, silence. An entire civilization gone in less than a generation. The most accepted theory, the Great Drought of 1276. Tree ring data shows virtually zero rainfall for 23 consecutive years across the entire region. Without rain, crops failed. Without crops, people starved. Springs dried up, rivers disappeared, the desert swallowed everything. Researchers found clear signs of severe malnutrition in skeletal remains from this period. The drought alone would have been catastrophic, but it wasn't the only problem. As food ran out, the Anasazi turned on each other. Archaeologists found burned villages throughout the region, not from accidents, from raids. At Castle Rock in Colorado, evidence points to a full-scale massacre. Unburied bodies left where they fell, signs of violent death everywhere. And then there's the most disturbing discovery, signs of cannibalism at multiple sites. Not ritual cannibalism, survival cannibalism, people eating people to stay alive. The Anasazi weren't just fleeing drought, they were fleeing each other. But there's a third factor almost nobody talks about, religious collapse. Anasazi society was built around religious leaders whose rituals were meant to bring rain. When the drought came and the rituals failed, the entire social order cracked. If your God can't bring rain, maybe your God isn't real. And if your God isn't real, the entire reason to stay, gone. Religious fragmentation broke the centralized system of Chaco Canyon apart. Smaller groups broke off, communities scattered, the unity that built cliff cities dissolved. Here's what most people get wrong about the Anasazi. They didn't disappear, they migrated, south and east, following the Rio Grande toward water. As they walked, they left pottery trails across the desert. Archaeologists followed them. They became the Pueblo peoples, the Hopi, the Zuni, communities still alive today. The descendants of the Anasazi are still here. They never truly vanished, but their cities, their roads, their civilization, those were abandoned forever. The modern Pueblo peoples have oral histories about the migration. They know what happened, but those stories are closely guarded secrets. They won't share them with outsiders. Archaeologists have asked, researchers have begged. The answer is always the same: no. This is ours. You don't need to know. Which means somewhere, in living memory, there are answers we may never hear. What they left behind is extraordinary. Mesa Verde, Chaco Canyon, Canyon de Chelly, roads carved through solid rock, astronomical observatories aligned to the sun and stars, buildings designed to track the exact moment of the winter solstice in 1200 AD. A city at Chaco Canyon that may have once held 45,000 people in the middle of a desert. These weren't primitive people. These were engineers, astronomers, and architects, and they walked away from all of it. So what really happened? Here are the 5 main theories. Theory 1, the Great Drought. 23 years of no rain destroyed their agricultural base. Theory 2, internal warfare. As food ran out, violence tore communities apart. Theory 3, religious collapse. Failed rituals destroyed the social order from within. Theory 4, deforestation. They cut down every tree for building and heating, nothing left. Theory 5, a combination of all 4, hitting simultaneously in the worst possible way. Most archaeologists now agree on one thing: it wasn't one cause, it was everything at once. Let's talk about the details most documentaries leave out. At a site called Cowboy Wash, researchers found unmistakable evidence of cannibalism in 1997. Human bones with cut marks, skulls cracked for brain extraction, cooking residue on pottery, a coprolite, fossilized human waste contained human myoglobin. Someone ate a person. This wasn't ritual, this was starvation taken to its absolute extreme. And this happened in multiple sites across the region. This wasn't isolated. A civilization that built astronomical observatories was reduced to this within 30 years. Here's what still doesn't make sense. The cliff dwellings were impregnable. They had water. They had stored food. Why leave? Some sites look like people left for an afternoon walk and never came back. Intact pottery, stored corn, burial chambers left open. It looks like a sudden decision, not a slow decline, not a gradual migration, a decision: we're leaving now. What could make an entire civilization decide to leave everything overnight? That question has no definitive answer. 700 years later, it still doesn't. Today, Mesa Verde National Park receives over 500,000 visitors every year. Tourists walk through Cliff Palace on guided tours exactly 1 hour long. The same rooms where families once lived, loved, fought, and starved. Pottery fragments still litter the ground at most sites. Picking one up is illegal. The Hopi and Zuni peoples consider these sites sacred. Their ancestors built them. They ask visitors to respect the silence, to not touch the walls, to remember. The story of the Anasazi isn't just archaeology, it's a warning. A civilization that lasted 1,200 years was gone in less than 30 because of climate. Because when water runs out, societies don't negotiate, they fight. Because when belief systems collapse, the social order that depends on them collapses too. The Anasazi built cities in the most inhospitable terrain imaginable. They survived 1,000 years. Then the rain stopped, and 30 years later, the cities were empty. The cliff dwellings of Mesa Verde are still there, perfectly preserved. The dry Colorado air kept them intact for 700 years. Not a single wall has crumbled. You can walk into rooms that haven't been touched since 1285, feel the walls, see handprints left in the plaster, Fingerprints of people whose names we'll never know. People who built something extraordinary, who survived the impossible, who walked away. So here's my question. Which theory do you believe ended the Anasazi? Let me know below.